Yes, I know what we're about to do is not OSHA approved. Okay guys, so today we are going to do some gutter cleaning on this two-story house. The gutters are actually around the back, and as you can see, we're putting on our safety gear. First we're going to look at the house. We've got a small roof here we're going to use to access the main roof. The lower gutters we're just going to get with the ladder. You can see the top gutters up there, and what we're going to do is use the rope, tether ourselves, go across the top, come down through the gutters, and then clean them out. And that's it. Hey guys, Rob here from Team Squeegee. As you can see, today I have on my harness. We're going to get on some second-story rooftops to do some gutters. Should be a pretty easy job for us once we get up there, but I wanted to take a moment to talk to you guys, especially window cleaning guys and your gutter cleaning guys that are getting on rooftops, whether it's a one-story or two-story, and you're not using any type of safety gear. Shame on you guys. You definitely want to be safe whenever you're up there. According to OSHA, anything over 6 feet, you're supposed to be strapped in anyways. So if you're getting on a regular rooftop, even if it's just 12-foot roof, make sure that you're strapped in. For $100, you can get a harness that's OSHA approved, a rope with a cavalier on it, and you can get a temporary anchor. It all comes in a bucket. I'll put a link in the description. $100 for your safety. Now today we're using the harness. We're using a rope. It's OSHA approved. We're using a rope that's OSHA approved. Has this cavalier on the end of it with safety mechanisms. Has a shock absorber in the plastic. If you get this, one of the questions that I usually get is, do you leave the plastic on? Yes, you leave the plastic on. Plastic is on the end here. It's got inspection dates in here, and we've got a rope. Now this 100-foot rope is not typical. You do have to buy this extra, and this will run you about $200. But this allows us to get on to most two-story homes versus what comes in the bucket, which is a 50-foot rope. And we'll go over that later. So if you wanted to get exactly what we have today, this is going to run you about $200, and then you can buy this harness separate for about $50. But like I said, you can get the whole kit and caboodle with a 50-foot rope for $100, and it's inside a bucket, and we have that as well. We use that on one-story roofs that have anchors, or whenever we put anchors in. That's another video. Make sure you watch that video on how to install anchors. So first thing that we want to do is we want to inspect the rope. Make sure that there's no burns, frays, cuts, snags, etc. This is polysteel rope, so it's 10 times stronger than regular poly rope, and we've already inspected it. It's good to go. We've also inspected our harness for the same thing: cuts, tears, scrapes, abrasions, or burns. We're also using a crossbar strap today, and we want to inspect this as well to make sure that there's no cuts, scrapes, burns, abrasions, any tears or rips. Okay, the stitching is color coded so that if it does start to come out, then the stitching actually changes colors. You can pick this up. You might not need it, but we need it today. But this thing will run you about $50, I believe. I'll put the links for everything inside. And the way this works is you wrap this around whatever it is you're going to wrap it around. This passes through there. You pull it tight, and then pull it tight, and then this will connect to this. The other end connects to me, and then I'm tethered. So let's go over a couple of disclaimers real quick. Yes, I know what we're about to do is not OSHA approved. Let me explain to you what OSHA wants you to do. Let me explain to you why that's a bad idea. Let me explain to you what we're going to do, and why what we're going to do is a better idea. Maybe not the best idea, but it's better than what OSHA has proposed. So according to OSHA, they want us to go up to this rooftop with nothing attached to us. Basically, they want us to walk up there and just be careful. And then they want us to get to the top of the roof and install an anchor, a temporary anchor, by hammering it in. So imagine that. We're going to go up there carrying our 50-foot rope, which is kind of heavy. We're going to have our belt on, we're going to have our harness on, and we're going to carry a temporary anchor to the top of this two-story roof where the pitch is pretty steep. and then we're going to hammer it in, and then we're going to attach ourselves to that. That's what OSHA wants us to do. Then they want us to do our job, no matter how long it takes. And then when we're done with our job, they want us to return to that anchor point, which is at the center of the roof. They want us to pull that anchor up, pack it up into our belongings however we can, grab our rope, and then carefully, without being tethered to anything, make our way back down the rope. So to me, it's not the best solution, and OSHA admits it, and they say that they allow you one trip up with no gear, no safety, and one trip down. And the reason why they say that is because of the situation that I just described. So for us, what we're going to do is we're actually going to tether our rope to our vehicle. That way, whenever we go up to the roof, we'll actually be protected from falling, at least to the far side, because our vehicle is on this side. So, and the gutters that we're cleaning are on this side. So the rope is going to be like this and then down. And then we're cleaning the gutters on this side. So OSHA does not want you to tether yourself to a vehicle or to a tree or to anything else other than a temporary or a permanent anchor. This wasn't always the case, but apparently a few years ago, some idiot tethered himself to a vehicle. He was the only one out there. He was on the roof, and some drunk guy came in and I guess tried to move his car and dragged the guy off the roof. So OSHA said, okay, no more of that. So thanks to some idiot out there, we now have even stupider rules where they want you to go up these 2-story, 3-story, 1-story roofs without anything. At Team Squeegee, we like to play it as safe as possible. So I'm going to go over a few of our safety precautions, and I'm going to show you how we attach this to our vehicle. The first safety precautions that we have is that the vehicle emergency brake is on, of course. So we have our emergency brake on, and then if you follow me, we have a cone in front of the door. This cone is hopefully a deterrent to stop anyone from opening this door. Inside the vehicle, and I know it's messy, but it's Friday, we have this sign. All my employees are trained. They know that if this sign is on the vehicle steering wheel, then they do not drive it. Our emergency brake is on. So we put the cone back. Anytime we're on a rooftop, especially whenever we're using this system where we're tethered and it's a steep roof, we always have one person in front of the vehicle who will be standing here. That's the person holding the camera, by the way. Say hi, Chris.
Hey guys.
Okay. And Chris has a walkie-talkie. And since I'm going on the roof, I have another walkie-talkie. Leaning against the vehicle, a machete, and it's sharp. The machete will remain right here, leaning against the vehicle as Chris stands here. The reason why we have the machete is, if you think about it, once this rope is tight and I'm on the other side, if I were to fall off or if an emergency were to happen and I get caught up in the rope, Chris isn't going to have the strength because of how tight it is to unsnap that rope. So we've trained our guys to grab the machete and slice the rope. That's for an extreme emergency situation. We also have 2 chalk blocks, and the chalk blocks are placed on the tire that we're going to attach our rope to. We've got one in the front and one in the back. You can use bricks, you can use 2x4s, you can use regular pieces of board. So between the emergency brake and the chalk blocks, hopefully this vehicle isn't going to move anywhere. So now we need to attach our crossbar strap. You can go underneath the vehicle and attach it to the frame. That's one way to do it. Or you can attach it through your wheel. What do you call that, a hub?
Okay.
Yeah. Or you can attach it to your wheel hub, which is what we're going to do. Of course, if you're going to attach to your wheel, don't attach it to the hub cap, okay? You want to make sure that you're actually attaching it to metal. Right here. So we're going to go through there and we're going to come out here. Okay, watch as I attach this. We also always have whoever's going to be on the roof, they're the ones responsible for attaching their straps. When you attach this, you want the black side up. So we're going to go through, just like so. We're going to pull it tight, then we're going to go through again because we've got a little bit of excess. come through, just like that. We're going to attach our rope to our D-ring. Now, the reason why we didn't want to attach it to the frame of our vehicle is mainly because Lola is a little bit older. She's getting on up there in age, and the frame of our vehicle underneath has some jagged edges. It's got a little bit of rust, and if moving the rope back and forth, there's a chance that this would slip on that frame back and forth and potentially tear and rip it. If you have a newer frame, there's no jagged edges, by all means crawl underneath, wrap it around your frame, and then you're good to go. Obviously don't wrap it on your stupid things like your bumper. Don't be that guy. Okay, so what we use is our wheelbase here. Then we're going to attach our cavalier just like so. Make sure that's good in there. This has already been inspected. Now we've got it. We're going to pull on it. It's not going anywhere. Vehicle's not moving. It's not rocking. The sucker's not going anywhere. I will feel very safe hooked into this up there on that roof. I know I won't fall. So that's great. Quick disclaimer, if you've never done this, get some training first. We are not responsible or liable for you doing anything that you see in this video on your own and then you fall into your demise or you getting hurt or any of your employees getting hurt. What you do on your own is by your choice. This is just an instructional how-to video on how we clean gutters on a 2-story house. I'm actually going to put that in the beginning. Okay, so now once I get up to the top, one thing that you have to be leery of is what we call the pendulum effect or the swing. Let me do it this way. If this is the roof and I'm on this side and the rope is going like this, then that rope, let's just pretend, is 100 feet. If I move a little bit this way, then that rope is going to get a little bit shorter. So if I make it longer by using my snap and then I move on the inside, then I'm going to have some slack in the rope. I need to be careful of that whenever I get up there. And I'll show you that, guys, whenever I get up there. So here's our cavalier. I don't know. I can never say that. This is going to hook to our back. And Chris is going to do that for me in just a moment. And then this is how we get up and down the rope. If I pull it, it's not going anywhere. But if I push that down, now I can slide this. Okay, it's got a safety mechanism on it so that if I accidentally let go of it, it's not going anywhere. It's got teeth on it in any direction. Okay, so Chris, go ahead, buckle me in. See if you can film that, everyone. Good to go. Give it a couple of pulls. Very good. Now this is tight enough that I can get 3 fingers underneath, 4 fingers in this case, underneath. Same here, tight enough that I can get it under here. It's good on my shoulders. It's not going to slip off this way or slip off this way. Very important. On the back here, for the harness, I need to be able to slip this down. See how I slipped it down as I bent down? Slip this down. See, it's up here. It's up here near my buttocks. Now as I sit, I'm going to slide this to the middle of my thighs, just like so. So now it's here. The reason for that is because think that the rope is up here. If I fall, I need to be able to slip this down so that I can sit. And then I basically will just be sitting in a position and just hanging. If I can't sit, then what could happen is I could get circulation cut off here, especially if I'm hanging for a long time. Okay, so make sure that it is tight enough here that you can get 3 fingers under, but still loose enough that you can sit like this and slide it just a couple of inches. Safety first. Okay, now I'm going to go up the ladder and get on the roof. Obviously, since we've tethered this way, I can fall this way. Common sense, right? So we still need to be careful on anything that we do on this side of the roof. And it should go without saying that as I go up the ladder, I need to be careful that I don't get caught up in the rope. have to edit that part out. Didn't realize I didn't have enough. See, I wasn't going anywhere. Alright, so tip, make sure that you have enough rope to actually get on the roof. So you can get up here. Okay guys, so as you can see, I'm on top of the roof now. And Chris is down there on standby in his position. You can see that the rope is tethered there. So obviously if I go that way, then I could still fall. This roof's pitch isn't too bad. But then, if I'm over here on this side, you can see I've got that. On this side, down there by the chimney, that's where we gotta go to clean the gutters. But I am tethered in, and I feel confident, and I feel safe. And right now, I am hands-free. One hand is holding the phone, this is my other hand, okay? And I'm not going anywhere. I don't know if you can see how tight that is, but even if I wanted to go down further, which I do because I got to get down there. Okay, and I'm going to squeeze it, go down a little bit on the rope, and then take a couple of steps down. Now what some people will do is they will, because if I squeeze this right here, then I can slide up and down this rope at free will. Don't get into the habit of squeezing this and then walking. What I recommend is that you squeeze it, let out a little bit of rope like that, let go of it, and then take a couple of steps down. Whoa, see? I just slipped. Look at that. And my rope caught me. What did I slip on? I stepped on the rope. But thankfully, this sucker caught me and I didn't go anywhere. I guess this kind of proves my point. Anytime you use this, your feet should be stationary. So I'm going to grab this. My feet are stationary. In other words, I'm not moving. I'm gonna let go. It's not going anywhere. I got a little slack there because I let it out. Now I'm gonna take a couple of steps, one at a time, till it's tight again. Now it's tight again, but I'm still not where I need to be. So I'm going to squeeze it, let out a little more, and then take a couple of steps. Rope is tight again. I'm getting to where I need to be, and then we're good to go. All right, guys. So as you can see, we got the gutters cleaned up here. I dropped one of those bristles. It's down there on the ground, so Chris is going to throw it up to me and we're going to put it back. But this is 2 stories up. Took us no time at all because I'm tethered. And I feel good. I was actually dangling with my feet off the edge here, you know. And I know that you could probably get this with a 30-foot ladder, 25-foot ladder. I get it. But to be honest, I'd prefer this way because ladders can fall. And if you're getting up here on this roof, you know, anything could happen. You could, you know, a shingle could be loose and you don't know it, and you step on it and it comes out from underneath you and down you go, you know. Or, you know, there's a lot of gravel up here, shingle gravel. You could slip on that real easy, especially if you don't have roof shoes. It could start raining all of a sudden if you're on a really big roof, you know, and then you got to get back quickly. You know, just be safe, guys. For $100, you can be safe, and it's not worth anything. It's not worth any dollar that you're going to make to not be safe. And this is such a simple method, you know. If you don't want to do the whole anchor thing, I get it. Then at least, you know, then do this. Get the 100-foot rope like we got. Spend $200. Get yourself the 100-foot rope. Get yourself the crossbar, and you're good to go. That's all you need. Well, and the harness, and then you're good to go. That's all you need, and then you can be safe. And you can do that to every job that you pull up on, whether it's a 1-story or a 2-story. But see the ridge vent up there? That's why we're not doing an anchor on this one, because there's a ridge vent. We would have to take that off and then install the anchor and then put the ridge vent back, which, you know, is just nails, but I'm a gutter cleaner, I'm not a roofer. Okay guys, so I wanted to show you one thing. So I'm working on the corner there, which means that my rope is extended pretty far. So that I could reach that corner. Now I need to walk back over to there. If I were to just get up and walk from there along the edge to the chimney, then what will happen is that I could fall off the edge because of slack. As I walk in toward the chimney, you can see the rope starts to get slack in it. And that's called the pendulum effect. So what you have to do is you want to create triangles. So while the rope is tight over here, I'm going to walk up toward the peak until the rope is tight at the peak. And then I'm going to readjust my rope so that I can walk back that way. And I'm going to go down, making sure that it's tight, 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 all the way back down to the chimney. So anytime you walk to the corners, don't just walk back straight across, because then you'll have more rope than you need. Go back up to the peak, readjust, and then walk back down. This is our means of communication. I'm going to have to edit that part out. As you're filming, just keep it steady. That's the big thing. I hate it whenever I look at films and everybody's like moving, you know. Don't worry about zooming in or anything, because I can do that in editing. Up like that, if that helps. Hey guys, Rob here from Team Squeegee. As you can see, I have on my harness today.
It went black.
Oh, if it goes blank, just tap it. Yeah. Take two.